Good evening. Tonight we want to do a special live. We're going to start doing something a little bit different besides our business. We're going to actually start talking about stuff that is very important to other families. And my topic is about blended families. If you don't know us, we have a huge blended family. Therefore, we have total 5 kids. Okay. My wife, she's got kids from another relationship. I have my oldest from another marriage, and my wife and I, we have one of our own. So therefore, that creates a lot of chaos, depending on the type of family. And our family, it does get a little bit crazy. You know, you got one family that's got different rules, stuff like that. So, basically, I know the world is becoming a huge blended family, is becoming more popular. So, we would like to get people's point of view on what they kind of deal with and let you in on what we deal with on a daily basis. And it is very difficult. Got anything to fill in on that? No?
You're hitting it.
Which my biggest thing is like, I've seen these kids grow up since they're really, really little. And, her youngest was 1 year, pretty much 1 year old. Okay. So I got to see him grow up and to see what he's doing now. My oldest, she met him when he was 4, maybe 5, about Sam's age. To see the big change that we've gone through our years of being together. It's changed a lot. So, our biggest thing is that we deal with is people and their different rules and different homes. Okay, so it's like my oldest, he's got 2 houses that he goes to. Actually, he had 3. So now it's a big change, especially if you do live with grandparents and you're trying to be a parent at the same time. You got 3 sets of rules, and it's very difficult. Then on top of that, some families live in different states. So therefore that creates a bigger issue along with our relationship. Okay? With that, the biggest problem that we have is when you're having to drive out of state, it's very difficult to keep that job. Okay? So that is the reason why we jumped into this business, because we're able to help people and still live our crazy life that we do right now. And it's pretty much a never-ending battle with this until the kids grow up and they move on. But as adults, we gotta keep loving these children. No matter what you go through, you gotta keep fighting for the kids. Okay? A lot of parents, they let their past get in the way. I'm guilty. My wife's guilty. Okay? So then it changes the attitude of the children. So my biggest point is never change the love of your kids. Okay? We all go through it. We have a teenager right now that her and I don't really get along with my oldest, with my wife. It's a learning curve. Everybody's going to learn, and we all learn from mistakes. That's why we get remarried, try to make it right.
Or get married for the first time.
Or get married for the first time. Yes,
30 years to get married.
I've been married twice.
I waited 30 years to get married.
I'm still learning. Okay, that's why we always say, do it right the first time. Don't make any mistakes. But we all learn from them. Okay? So, yes, that is going to be my blog. It's like, things change all the time. Rules change. When those kids get close to going to their other parent, they tend to get little attitudes. Hey, Desiree.
Hi, Desiree.
Which I've noticed that quite a bit. It's like they get close to leaving, then they're like, well, I don't have to do anything. I'll just deal with it when I get back. So, which I've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah, well, my youngest from my previous relationship, he does the whole dawdle around, and my second, the middle daughter, she does the same thing. She was supposed to clean her room before she left, and it's a big, huge mess. So, but it's a normal kid thing. But I have noticed though, the youngest one, he's done this the longest versus the girls, because he was one when their father and I split up. So he was the youngest, so he's been accustomed to the back and forth, but he's starting to dislike going back and forth as much as he's been doing. So he misses being home and being with mom. So it's nice to know, but I still encourage the love for dad. He needs to still see his dad and, have a relationship with him too. So I've always encouraged that.
It's like when you're on the road for 10 hours, I give my wife credit because, she can't have a normal 9-to-5 job. Okay? That's why we're doing what we're doing. Okay?
And I work in a cafeteria at the school.
Because she can work on the road. Okay? All hands free. No texting and driving in Ohio or PA. Okay? So we can't do that here, which probably across the United States.
It's pretty much worldwide now, I think.
So, with her having to drive like on a Friday night, no job is going to say, "Oh, it's okay. You can go ahead and take off early, and hopefully you make it there okay." That's my biggest scare. When somebody's having to drive, say 5 hours to that meeting point, then you're having to turn your butt around, drive back home. It's pretty scary. Okay, so.
Especially with weather in the areas that we live.
That's where the whole money issue comes in. That's where the attitudes start swinging between the parents. Okay? I'm not used to the driving because I only drive maybe 5-10 miles down the road to see my son. So it's a total different environment for my wife and myself. So that's why blended families sometimes it's very, very difficult. That's why you gotta have love in the relationship to show those kids that, hey, no matter what's going on, we love you no matter what. Okay? So, like I said, it's learning curve. You gotta stay strong. And that's why, we have our ups and downs. Like my wife's live this morning, ups and downs with the kids. My video is ups and downs about everything. Because it's not always the children that has arguments. Okay? Blended families are tough. We are blended too. See?
Yep.
There is tons of people. A lot of my family members are blended families. It's very, very tough.
I grew up with
I could go on
and on
and on about our life. It's not sugar and strawberries, it's nothing good.
Nice.
But we learn from it, make it strong, and we go from there.
I think his biggest thing is when both parties from the previous, when we first got together, both parties didn't like the fact that we were together.
Right.
And that was the biggest issue. And our thing is neither one of us wanted to turn any of our children against the other parent, because that was not something that we were encouraging ever. But yet it's been done to both of us. Less on my side with my kids. Though the teenager has developed her own opinions now, so she's very opinionated on the world since she knows so much of it now. Because she's gonna be 17, so she knows it all.
That's the hardest part when you have a teenage, well,
Very well opinionated girl,
I hate
like
the
her
whole
mother.
word stepdaughter or stepkids, okay? I was married into the family, so therefore I love calling them my kids, no matter who they are or who their dad is or whichever. Okay? So,
Who's your
when,
daddy?
well, anyways,
Sorry.
okay, I lost track.
I'm
Sorry. That happens. Which Nick can tell you, I work with this guy. I'm a great person, you know.
Hi, Tato.
That's a nickname. But to see these kids change from being young, going through the teenage years, I never thought I would have a daughter until I met my wife. I've known my wife since we was 5th grade. Okay, so seeing the change in the years and what we was doing at 16, now going on 17 this week, I'm losing my mind. So Destiny, if you're gonna watch this, yes, I'm losing my mind as well because kids are crazy.
We have a 17-year-old going to be in our home. I
And
would welcome a baby versus a
when
17-year-old.
I was her age, I was working. Now this generation, they're like, no, I'm not gonna work. You're gonna pay my bills, and I'm just gonna stay at home. Sorry. Not for me, not for my wife. If we wanted that car, we had to get off our butt and go work for it. Okay? My mom and dad taught me, hey, you want that car? You better go work for it. So I was working at, I think it was 14. Yeah, and delivered newspapers. Okay? Got bored with that, started doing construction with my dad. And that's where I learned a lot of it. My first car was when I was 13. I want to get my stepdaughter a car, but she's kind of doing this. She don't know.
I think our biggest thing is we'll get it
So-
for her and give it to her as a graduation present, but then she's responsible for paying for the insurance and the gas.
Right.
If she can't afford either one of them, she doesn't get the car. It's very simple.
That's why we say it's ups and downs. Like, which one do you want? Do you want the phone or do you want the car? If it was me, I'm a guy. I'd take the phone and throw it out and give me the car. But you have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my biggest downfall right now is watching these kids grow up and what we went through growing up at their age. Now we have Xboxes, we have TVs, they have cell phones. They don't care.
There's more TV shows on now than there ever was when we were growing up as well. So there's a lot of distractions for our children, and that's the biggest thing, especially with both of our houses. Our house just runs differently than the other ones. Our children have a set schedule. Generally, during the week when they have school, they're not allowed to play Xbox because they need to have their schoolwork done, and I would rather them play so that they're stimulating their brains instead of being, I'm going to play a video game all day.
And you know how some people say, hey, your house is always a mess. It
Yes,
is.
Our house is a mess.
You know, we got sports, I work, then I go out and starting to work out. Yeah, I'm a little behind, but life is crazy. Things happen. So therefore, I'm really pushing it because that's my downfall. I'm able to step away and relax, then really think things through and work on myself. Along with my wife. She's able to work on herself during the day when the kids aren't here. Okay, she still works when she's able to.
No, I work when they call me.
Right.
And that's the nice thing is I work for the school that my kids go to. So when they're off, I'm off. But when they call me into work, the things that I have planned for that day get pushed to the next day. And if I'm working the rest of the week, then laundry gets pushed back 2-4 days longer because we have practices every night. And we have wrestling and cheerleading going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have practices every night. So between dinner and practices, I have maybe 20 minutes we saw each other today?
Yeah. No.
20 minutes that we saw each other, and it was, hi, I love you, bye. We ate dinner, and we were gone. And I just got home at 7 o'clock, and they're taking showers and getting ready for bed. So there's
and
really
this
no
is
downtime.
actually a lot better than it was before because
it used to be crazy.
I used to work 10 to 12-hour days. You talk about crazy shifts.
And second shift.
I work second shift, so therefore my wife had to do
myself?
everything on her own. With the youngest, the second youngest at the time, he was in baseball. So therefore, that next year I went in the midnights, cutting back on my sleep so that I could be assistant baseball coach for my stepson.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, attitudes really grew because daddy wasn't getting his sleep. So my wife had to deal with my attitude, and then the whole house just started blowing up, and the house just really started falling apart. So that's another thing to look at. If you're able to step back and just really think about what you're doing wrong, always have a hobby. That's why with our business that we do, my wife and I, we are able to work together as a family to show our kids that, hey, it does work.
But it's hard work and dedication,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't just sit there and have a handout either. Nothing is free.
No. So, things happen for a reason, and we all learn from it, and we get stronger. So that is my message to you guys. Never give up, because things happen for a reason, and we all get stronger from it. And never step away from that relationship, and never step out on your kids. Okay, I'm working on that with my oldest, and I will not stop loving that boy ever. Okay? If you guys know me, you know who he is, and he's a great kid. And all my kids are great, and I love every single one of them. And
Except
I hope
your
you
fur
guys...
baby.
What?
I said, except your fur baby.
My fur baby.
Your
Which
big
one?
blonde baby.
Oh,
Nick's
that
favorite.
would be Buster.
That's Nick's favorite.
I swear, every time I get home, I got 2 kids that come up running after me and about knock me over.
One is our actual son.
Our 5-year-old, he knocks me over. Then next thing you know, you got Buster running right up and being crazy and knocks me over. So, like my wife said, Nick's seen her dog, and thank God he's not a Great Dane, because he would wipe me on my butt.
Yep.
Okay. So it's always nice to be able to see that every day. Put a big old smile on your face. Always love your kids. And
with a hello and how are you?
Yep. And if they have an attitude, just ignore it. One of these days we all grow up. We all have kids, and one of these days they will find out how hard life is getting.
Mm-hmm.
But we never give up.
Yep.
So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do this every Monday, along with our business. And if you guys want more information about our business, let us know. And I hope you all have a good night and have a good week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.